Okay, is Ermin? Ermin, fuck! I know I did that earlier
Yeah, I
when
don't know
I
if
pretended to
Jordan
have
is
this
joining.
conversation. I ain't worried about him. But Edwin, is he around?
No.
I okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. I greatly want you to give a more detailed account of what's been going on with him and Aardvark. My name's not Aardvark, but you know.
Uh, I wanna. Well, I wanna wait for a minute to see if Jordan joins because I told him because I was telling him earlier. I was like, I'll fill you in later. But they were still here, and so I don't want to tell it and then have to tell it again.
Uh, well, these are 30-minute videos, so if he don't come in by the end of the first one, we move on without him. 'Cause I don't want to wait. If I was president, if I was president.
That is gritty,
What are you drinking?
but that was tasty.
If I was president.
Horchata.
I've never had horchata. I've always assumed it was terrible.
Hey, get on.
It's not. Well, this ain't. The first time I had it, it was awful.
Quite the setup
But
you
that's
got
because
going
my
here.
palate wasn't mature.
Your palate is it's the spicy. The more like you have to beat your tongue into submission. Like you're seasoning it like with a cast iron skillet. You're seasoning it.
Um, Horchata is kind of like this coconut drink. It's like a sweetened coconut. Um, and how
Don't worry.
the fuck did I get that?
It crosses our path.
They put cinnamon in.
In the horchata?
Yeah. How people? What are these bags? Oh man, Ellen's ending.
Hmm.
Ellen's ending. Final
Ellen.
season starts September 13th.
Who?
Ellen.
Ellen. I thought you said Alan.
Ellen.
Yeah, I thought you said Alan.
Ellen. Man, Alan's been ended.
So I had forgot that Clay and the black girl. Like I had forgot that they were together.
Did the horizontal mambo?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot.
Clay was into her, but then she went and did that thing with Bryce. Yeah. Bryce just kept stealing Clay's women. That's why Clay killed him.
No, he didn't. We saw him get thrown into the river. What are you talking about?
He wasn't even dead. They just pushed him in. He wasn't dead.
No, but he died in the water.
All right, I found the first jammer. Head down and destroy.
Yeah, but he could have lived. That's the thing. But Alex was just intent on just ending it for him. How far have you gotten?
I watched the first episode. I had no intent of powering my way through that
Ah.
show. Like, it wasn't something I could do.
This is about to be a 2-week journey.
First jammer. Head
Yeah,
down and
no,
destroy
2 weeks. It's gonna take me a month to get through that. Like, I'm not gonna, cause it's not like something I want to watch. It's just something I have to watch because I started it.
Well, if you, I want to know, like, your thoughts as you go on, but some stuff, because it's been like a year since I watched it. You're gonna have to remind me.
Is the jammer on somebody?
All right, I found
Because
the first jammer. Head down and destroy.
I think I watched that last summer. I can't remember. I don't remember when it came out.
Wow, really? How much? Oh, I'd had, really? All right, cool. If I
Oh
was-
no.
Head down and destroy it.
Oh, that wasn't it?
Nope. There it goes. There it goes. So sick of that.
Wow, y'all see that? Like,
Oh yeah.
ooh,
So how much of wrestling have you watched this
All right,
week?
I found
for
the
the
first
week,
jammer.
none.
Head
It's
down and
Monday.
destroy it.
It is Monday of last week.
Of last week, all of it. All but AEW.
Yeah.
Like my DVR didn't
Oh,
even
well, never mind
record
This
NXT.
week. This is specifically directed towards AEW.
I'm stuck. I can't move. Okay, yeah, AEW I haven't watched it because I meant to go back and and record that that fuck you match with Jericho and that guy no one's ever heard of.
The pizza cutter?
Yeah.
What's his name? Nick Gage. Yeah, yeah. We were on the phone while I was watching that match.
Yeah, I know. It was a dumb match. It was an incredibly stupid match. Like, it really
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Like, it felt like it was the version of wrestling that everybody who doesn't watch wrestling thinks wrestling is. the cameras.
Well, it's the type of wrestling that is going to make AEW fans splooge their pants. And by AEW fans, I don't mean because I would consider myself an AEW fan, but I'm not like an AEW diehard. I don't
Well,
take
I'm not a diehard for
the culture war
anything.
that seriously.
I'm not a diehard for anything because it's all like human based, and so therefore it can all be ruined.
No, I'm a diehard. I'm a diehard for wrestling. Period. I just mean the people who take the culture war seriously and are always like AEW is superior to WWE because blah 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 blah. Like those people, who are the people who still spout on and on about how out of touch Vince McMahon is and how Triple H ruined the business because they feel like their opinion matters, basically, and they think that people are listening to their opinion.
I took care of the jammer.
Like that's who that match was targeted, and it worked.
Worked in what capacity?
It got like mainstream uh,
It got
internet news.
attention. Well, yeah, because you had a dude cutting
Yeah,
another dude's face with a pizza cutter.
pulling pizza cutters out of his pants.
Yeah, at the most opportune moment because a
But
pizza commercial came on.
that's just his thing.
Probably don't
That's
remember
just his
this
thing,
the day of the
apparently, because
tried to stop
ever since that, I've just been
the
seeing
bastard.
videos of him cutting people with pizza cutters in death matches.
Lost me.
Um, but before that, no one would have known this. And now, he's everywhere.
I suppose that is the point, though.
So the guy that was in talks to host Jeopardy is now kind of
In
like
trouble.
walking it back.
What's your
He's
plan
like,
for getting out of the city?
no final decisions have been made about the next host. Discussions with me and other potential hosts are still ongoing.
The concern.
It's weird. I wouldn't mind LeVar Burton being the host, but I don't even watch Jeopardy, so I don't know why I care. Because I guess I don't. But but because like
For
cancel
some reason,
culture,
this is really personal for some people.
Well, at least I'm good for
like
some.
because cancel culture is gonna be the reason that LeVar gets the job. I don't even want him to be the host now.
I don't think they'll go with LeVar because he wasn't the best. He wasn't even second best or third. So like there's a list of people that they'll make their way down before they get to LeVar. Because there's no way that they can think just hiring LeVar Burton is gonna bring them ratings. Like they are undoubtedly taking the ratings and all of the conversation online into account.
I'm stuck in this corner. Oh, there it is. But they're taking. I feel like they're taking more
I
of.
know that feeling.
I feel like they're taking more of what the internet is saying at heart than anything else, because they're just as like spineless as anybody else.
Well, yeah, and at the end of the day, it's all about ratings. ratings.
Well, not necessarily
is
ratings.
money.
It's about image. It's more about image than it is anything else. Because like it's about the idea that like, well, we can't pick the guy that everybody is like, well, we found this thing out that he said about midgets, and you know, so he can't be the guy. And you're gonna pick the guy who said something about midgets over the black dude? Well, that seems suspicious, Jeopardy.
On the lane?
Huh?
Oh, that's exactly what would happen. That's exactly what would happen too. Oh, I just the other day I watched Newman
Again?
just because. Just because. He was there's a joke about when he was writing for the awards show and he wrote in the word midget and the
Yeah.
producer was like, "No,
No,
we
I
can't
remember the
say
joke. Yeah, I
we
remember
can't
the
say
joke.
midget. That's
Yeah,
as
no, I
bad as
remember
the
the
N
joke.
word."
Yeah, I remember the joke. Yeah, I saw where that was going. I'm just saying I didn't.
Who are you telling? Me or you?
I'm telling you because you kept trying to tell the joke, like remind me of the joke, and I'm like, yeah, I know.
No, nope. I stopped. I stopped. You go back, listen to the tape. Listen to the tape. I stopped, and you continued to say, "I remember the joke."
No, you didn't.
So
No, you didn't.
overzealous much?
Oh man, there's a delay.
Yes, I did.
Because that's not what happened. Then there's an insane delay because that's not what happened.
You said, "I remember the joke." I remember the joke. I remember
Yeah,
the
because
joke.
you were still talking.
Yeah, I wasn't saying nothing.
Yeah, you were. On my end, yeah, you were.
I was not.
On my
No, I wasn't.
end, yeah, you were.
That's on your end. Go back and roll.
Yeah,
Roll the
that's why-
tape back,
it's
George.
It's why I'm openly stating that it's on
This
my end.
man
There's a
literally
delay.
collapsed.
Like I am not saying, like that's what being on the internet has done done to me as a person. Is like I'm sucking dick constantly. Like I am constantly blowing, like sucking dick to like mid conversation, because like. And in a way, it's like you acknowledge that people are either like dumb or whatever the fuck. Because like when you find yourself like having to use like specific wording so that people don't get offended, it's like, who are you doing it for? Them or you? Like, are you doing it so so they're not mad? Are you doing it so that you seem like you're in touch with what's going on? I know.
So what was the problem with me finishing the joke anyway? You know, maybe the listener has never heard the joke.
I ain't gonna hear it over the game, boy.
And I was halfway done.
You sound not as good.
She'd still be alive, and we'd be out of this damn city.
What do you want me to say? That I'm sorry?
I don't want you to say anything. I want you to disappear.
Boy, you failed at not being offensive. Just enough. Yeah. You
No.
failed massively.
I'm not offensive. You just don't like what I said. There's a big difference between the two things.
No.
Cause like I can say, like
You
if you make, let's
massively
say
offended.
you
I'm
make a
offended
midget joke.
by your existence.
Like if you say you make a midget joke. Like, well, you said the word midget. That's offensive. No, the word midget, in and of itself, isn't offensive. Like it's not offensive. You just think that because you've been told that you're not supposed to say midget, it's offensive. Like if, God damn it. Like, okay, so let's ask real quick, is the word nigger, like, in and of itself, offensive? Is the word offensive? Or is it only offensive if you refer to someone as a nigger? A thing or a person? Like, if you call somebody a nigger, is that what's offensive? Or is it, you know, just the word itself? Like let's say like you're having a conversation with somebody and they ask you, what does nigger mean? Like, are they as bad of a person as saying, this pencil is such a nigger? Like, is that the same thing? Like, no, it's like it's not the same thing. Like, one's a question. So, like, making fun of a midget. Like, let's say I say I met this midget.
But it is because of the connotation,
What's the connotation?
the implication.
Is that what you
The
want to say the first
connotation,
time?
because of the way the word has been used over time. What I did say connotation. I said connotation, implication.
I was asking like if you were
Um,
trying to make the Always Sunny reference, but you just like hit the wrong word.
no.
Okay.
The way it's been used over time is in a negative and derogatory manner.
Right.
So yes, at any point that the word is being used, it's being used in a negative, offensive way.
But what if I just ask what it means? Is that still offensive?
No.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking. So the word in itself isn't offensive. It's the usage of the word. So let's say we want to talk about a midget. So let's say I want to talk about a midget. And I'm like, yo, I met this midget dude the other day. Or I met this midget chick the other day. Because knowing me, it's a woman. I met this midget chick. And I proceed to explain something about her that I find like, comical. But the thing I'm like making fun of, or the thing that I'm like, making light of, has nothing to do with her stature. Like nothing at all to do with her stature. It's just I describe her as a midget. Is that equally as offensive? Like, that's my question. Is it simply offensive?
See, my problem is that why do you even have to classify her? Period. You don't even have to.
Because
say
it's one of those things
she's
where
a
if it's
midget.
like, I feel like if you don't say, like, if I'm trying to tell you about this girl.
It's one of those things that, is that a flipper? That's what that is. That whole
Yeah.
situation.
Well, hold up though. I've
Like,
been in
if
that
you don't
situation.
warn somebody, it could go terribly
Kinda,
wrong.
sorta. Like, cause I'm like, well, I'm trying to tell you about this girl, and then like I get into, like, I have to describe it. Like, I can I can say like I'm talking about this. There's this girl I met, right? There's this girl I met, yada 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 yada. I could say that. Like, I could totally say that. But what if there's more to it than that? What if there's more to it than that? Like, what if like I'm trying to describe who she is? And what if I say, oh yeah, it's this white chick I started talking to. It's like, oh, why she gotta be a white girl? Cause she's white. You know what I mean? Or what if she just happens to be a midget? Like, I could call her little, but I'm fat. So me calling her little could just mean she's thin.
You call her shorty.
Well, yeah, but if I call her shawty, that don't mean shit though. Because in the way we speak. So why can't I just use the fucking word midget? She's a little person. It just sounds like she's not very fat. Cause all of my
Dude,
friends are fat.
there's like a whole episode. There's a whole episode of Golden Girls that's like built around that, and Blanche just keeps inadvertently making short jokes.
Good old sitcom humor.
Yep.
I just
They didn't
feel
remove
like,
that one.
well, I mean, the little people can't really do much, so But like, if I met a black girl and I said she's a black girl, like, all right, cool. Oh, so you met a black chick? Yeah. Like, cause I feel like as a black man, if I told you I met a chick, you might automatically assume that she's black. Like, you might automatically assume that, huh?
Oh.
Yeah, you might automatically assume that she's fat because of my history. But the same goes for her being black. You might just immediately assume that she's some fat black chick.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to assume that. I'm going to assume fat. I'm not going to assume her race because I know you're a hoe.
All right. I don't know how to take that. I guess I could just mind my fucking business.
Look, I am not. I am not a judgmental person unless the situation warrants.
And I feel like this hasn't warranted
Some
it.
situations be warranted.
Some situations be warranting. You know what? All right. Warrant though it may be.
I mean, a bunch that I've dealt with recently.
Because I'm not saying you're wrong. That's kind of the problem here. Because I can't say that you're necessarily wrong. Because I have started oh shit. Like I have started talking to somebody again recently, who is a chubby black girl. Call it what you want to call it. Yeah. So but you would assume most people would just assume she's black because I'm black. But if I'm talking to somebody who might make that assumption, maybe I would have to go, yeah, she's white. And they might go, oh, okay. Yeah, oh, all right. I didn't know that. And so if I'm telling you about a girl I'm talking to, as somebody who knows me, and I'm telling you about her. I'm telling you about her. And then as the conversation goes on, if it comes out hey, what does she look like? I was like, oh man, yeah, she's dark skinned, braids, about 3'1". That's information you don't just I don't just throw it out there because it's going to sound weird. It's super gonna sound weird. It's gonna sound like
See,
I'm crazy.
the difference is the difference in that situation is that I talk to you a lot, right?
Uh-huh.
And the thing is, I'm going to assume that she is black simply because you would offer up any other information immediately up front.
If she was white, I'd tell you she was white.
You would say, yeah, I was talking to this crazy white girl the other day. Right there.
Right, and same goes to
That's just you though.
Yeah, fair enough. Cause you know what, and I think okay, as a black person, I just want to point out if that was the case, I was talking to this crazy white girl, I feel like I would have said she was a crazy white girl because she was white. The two things kind of just went hand in hand. So I would have totally said white girl if she was white. Because it's of course.
Now that's offensive.
Of course. Of course she's crazy. She's white. But I feel like if I was talking about a midget, not a dwarf or a short person. I'm talking about a fucking midget.
We're actually talking about this.
I feel like you'd have to I would have to lead with, oh shit, I've met a midget. And if you're wondering well, why do you have to bring
That's
that
exactly how it would go.
Yeah. That's how I would say
You would be I haven't seen one in the wild before.
I've never seen. Heather was the only midget I knew. And she wasn't a full-blown midget. She was just a little
they
person.
normally stick to the trees.
Yeah, man. They'd be under the grass. They'd be in the grass. They get lost. I've never met a midget person out in the wild. I've never done it. I see him on TV all the time. I had this thing on. Remember that homeless girl who's mean to me? Me and her had this. I had this ongoing bit with her about I don't believe egg salad is real. And for what it's worth, it's only partially a joke. I've heard of egg salad. I've heard about it a lot. I've heard about it in TV. I've heard about it in real life. I've never seen or tasted egg salad. Never. And here's the thing. Well, just make some. Look up a recipe. I don't trust that. I don't trust that at all. I need to be able to get it in the store. I need to be able to get it packaged by a company that mass produces egg salad so that I know it's real. Otherwise, I'm just it's the conspiracy is egg salad's real. Here's a recipe. Like, yeah, no, I don't trust that. Like, I just simply don't believe that that's legit. Because you could just be telling me to make some shit up, which it kind of is. So, like, yeah, I don't believe egg salad is real because I ain't never actually seen it, but I've heard about it. And same go with midgets. I've never really met one. I've met short people. Again, Heather, but she's the only short person we know that I know personally. I don't know about you. And like, given that,
And I mean, she also, she identifies as a murderer.
well, she didn't. Well, the court identifies her as a murderer. She ain't really got much to say in that. Why was she? I feel like this is just like because this is something a girl I used to talk to. That's a phrase I'm gonna use the rest of my fucking life. Said about me is because like the reason I was so sassy and like mean, angry, in her opinion is angry and sassy was because I was so short, and it was just like there was just so much of it like condensed in my body that like it if I was taller I'd have more room for other stuff to dilute the salt, the anger, but because I'm so short, like it's just the majority of what I am, and it takes over my my body.
So where'd this girl fall on the stupid scale?
She wasn't stupid.
Pretty high up there, I'd assume.
Well, the thing was, she's 6 foot, and she's relatively a nice person, like relatively, incredibly like naive. Like she was the most naive girl I'd ever met. She's the most naive woman I've ever. Wait, let me rephrase that. She's the most naive person of color I'd ever met. Like of all the black women I'd ever like befriended, she was the most naive black girl that I knew. White girls are a different story. Like every last one of them, like come equipped with rose tinted glasses. So there's that. That's not even offensive. That's just a descriptive phrase.
Man,
Anyway,
it's
we're gonna go now.
affluenza.
Anyway, we're gonna go. Tune in for the next one because it's gonna be rough. All right, free Britney, or with caution.
Free Britney.
With caution.
With caution.
Yeah. Yikes.